Hi and welcome to the Math Jedi channel, all about math. Yes, today we're looking at part 2 of the Unitary Method, and we're going to be looking at the comparison model. Yes, let's get ready and go and explore the wonderful world of the Unitary Method. Here we go. So today we are looking at the Unitary Method, and this is part 2. So hopefully you've had a chance to check out part 1, and if you haven't, then I highly recommend you go and you find it. Today we are actually focusing on the comparison model. This is still Unitary Method, but last day we kind of looked at part whole. Today we're looking at comparison, and this will give you a good idea about how the Unitary Method all works. And I love the Unitary Method. A few things, just so you guys know what I'm kind of talking about. I call this the bar. Okay, I'm going to use bars all the time. Remember, same size equals the same value. Okay, so same size equals the same value. So if you have two bars of the exact same size, they have the exact same value. And if you have parts of bars to be the same, so let's say it's hypothetically this red stuff were the same, those red pieces would be the exact same value. Okay, I like to use for totals, kind of to show how I do my totals there. And after that we start going. You can stack bars. Some people like to stack bars on top of each other, and stacking is really cool when you draw. Because then you can actually cut a bar and you can see how much extra there is, right? How much extra is missing, which is neat. And sometimes you might want to even total sideways on the side there. So different ways of looking at bars as we look at the comparison model and that sort of thing. Now, you saw the intro there, and I thought today, you know what, today is a pretty cool day. So before we get into everything, let's just show you how to draw maybe another little guy. And you might know this guy. You might know this guy. Does anybody have an idea of who this is going to be right now? Does anybody know? We're going to Yoda. So we're going to do some ears now. So Yoda has some giant ears, and they kind of go like that. I'll draw the top of Yoda's head. And then we're going to go and do some eyes. Now Yoda has some nice giant eyes, right? He's a Jedi Master, and he's going to help us today with the Unitary Method. And I'm going to go and just draw little circles there. These are the glimmer in Yoda's eyes. And then I can just kind of shade his eyes in a little bit. Probably looks better when you're doing it by hand. But yeah, here's Yoda's eyes. There's his eyes and that kind of stuff. And I'm even going to put a little, make them really, really big. Yeah, there we go. Kind of like that. And let's go give Yoda a big, he's pretty happy today, isn't he? So he's going to have like a, yeah, a little bit of an attitude. And he'll have a little nose. Let's give him a little nose. Little lines there. There we go. Let's give Yoda some, you know, he's a little bit old, so we'll give him a little forehead crinkles. So, little bumps and bumps. So he's getting a little bit older there. And then we'll do the ear. So you kind of start here and you just kind of follow this up into the very tip, like that. And you'll start here and you kind of go up and down like this. And then you go and you combine the bottom part here and just kind of go, and different kind of shadings and that kind of stuff. You can go and shade that guy in. He's of course wearing his classic cloak. Remember, you always want the body to be the same size as the head. Okay, so the body, so this part right here should be the same kind of length as the head there. Okay, you get the idea there. Let's give him an arm. So there's his little arm. And we'll give him a little bit of a V-neck. There's some stuff like that going on. What else do you need? There's a little crinkles there. Do some little more sides there. He probably has a finger and a thumb. So there's a little finger there, and there's his little thumb. And he's got a little thumb here, and there you go. That's a really bad finger. I think it's really hard to draw hands. And then, of course, he's going to have a walking stick. He needs a walking stick of some sort. There you go. Does he have little green feet? Sure, little green feet. There we go. There's my Yoda. Alright, so he's going to help us. And he's like, student you are. Student you are. ... Math you do. Little Yoda speak. Okay, you guys are ready. Let's take a look at it. We got Yoda. He's going to help us out today. And hopefully you guys learned a little bit how to draw Yoda. Always exciting. So first off, we're going to go right here. We're going to go, and let's use Yoda. Yoda has 3 more lightsabers than Rey. Okay, so 3 more lightsabers than Rey. Altogether, they have 15. Altogether, they have 15. Okay, so how many does each have? How many does each? So we want to go and represent this. So Yoda has 3 more lightsabers than Rey. So ask yourself, who has a bigger bar? Who? And of course, if Yoda has more, Yoda's bar is going to be bigger. So all you do is you just draw a bar. And you say this is Yoda's. And I'm going to go and draw Rey's. It doesn't really matter how much smaller Rey's is. It just makes that it's really important that you have Rey having a smaller one. Okay, that's the important part. So that's really the important part. So now, what I want to kind of represent for this is that this is the extra stuff. And how much is that extra stuff? Well, you know that this is 3 extra, right? That's how much bigger it is. Now, you know, all together, now this is how we're doing our totals. All together, we have 15, don't we? Okay. So I'm going to go and now split this up. I'm going to split this up into separate, kind of a long bar. Okay, so a long one. So work with me here, try this. So I'm just going to draw this. This is Rey. And then we have Yoda. So we have Yoda, and Yoda's is like this, with the extra 3. Okay? So far, so good? Now, I want to go, I'm just going to erase this so we have some room. There we go. So Rey is still blue and Yoda is still green. We do that all together, and this is where the totals, right? So all together, this had to be 15. But if this is 3 and this is 15, ask yourself, how much is this part then? This part would be 12. And are these pieces the exact same size? Yes, they're the same. Same and same. So there's 2 pieces. So you just have to go 12 and divide it by 2. And to know each piece is worth 6. So 6, 6, and 3. So 6, 6, and 3. And that's how it looks using a comparison model for Unitary. So you know that Rey had 6 and Yoda had 9. And there we go. Okay. Now, should we try another one? Let's try another one. So now you have the idea of how it is all working. Let's go try another one. Remember, this is called the comparison model. So you guys know how this is all working. Let's go with maybe, how about a Chewbacca? Sure. Chewie has 24 cookies. Okay, so Chewie has 24 cookies. He has 5 more. So he has 5 more than Han. How many does Han have? So again, this is probably pretty easy, but I do just want to kind of show you just how we're going to be comparing stuff, right? So here's the big long bar, right? So this is Chewy, and he has 24 cookies, and so this is Chewy, and this is Han. Han has less because we know that Chewy has more. So this is the extra part. And what does the extra part represent? He has 5 more than Han. Okay, so think about that for a second. So that was 24 in total. But you know that this little part here is just 5. And this whole thing is 24. So you had to go and cut that out. You said that this would be 5 more, so this is 19. And these are the same size, so Han has to have 19. So using kind of the comparison model of how that looks. Now let's go to perhaps another one that's a little bit more challenging. A bit more challenging. To see if you guys really do get this. Okay, here we go. Let's use some money stuff. So Lando has $8 more than Unkar. So he has $8 more than Unkar. And we'll say, who else could we use in this universe? Kylo. Sure, we'll use Kylo. Kylo has $6 less than Lando. $6 less than Lando. Okay. All three together. So all three together have $76. And of course I want to know, how much does each one of them have? How much does each have? Okie dokie. So Lando, Unkar, and Kylo. Never thought they'd be in a word problem together. Let's go and draw it. If I asked you right now, who has the most money? Who's going to have the biggest bar? That's what you want to think of. Who is going to have the biggest bar? Well, that's going to be Kylo. Kylo's going to have the most money. So I'm just going to put down maybe Kylo here. Oops. That looks bad. So Kylo's going to be here. And you know what? Using pencil, this gives me a good point. Using pencil is really important for this one because you're going to be erasing bars quite a bit. So we know that he's going to have the most. And then who is going to have the second most? Can you tell? Well, Ali has $8 more. Sorry, Lando has $8 more than Unkar. So Lando is going to have a bigger bar than Unkar. So let's use a different color. I'm going to put Lando here. Lando. And then we're going to have, what color could we use for Unkar? There we go. And Unkar is going to be kind of like this, let's say. Unkar. Okay, so we can do some things here. Let's go and do some drawing. So let's see, what's this? Kylo has $6. Oh, sorry, Kylo has $6 less than Lando. Oh, okay, so actually Lando's going to have more, isn't he? Lando's going to have $6 more, because Kylo has $6 less. Do you see that? Like that? That's cool. And we know Lando has 8 more than Unkar. Oh, well, Lando has 8 more than Unkar. Does that make sense? Look at this bar now. If I put 8 there, does that make sense? No, it doesn't. What needs to be there? 2. Yes, it does, doesn't it? Because now this is $8 more than Unkar. And I'm just going to keep drawing these little dotted lines just to kind of show you something. Now we know that this little piece here is worth $2. Ooh, that's pretty neat. And that these 3 pieces are all the same. And we know that all together we have $76. Now once you've drawn things vertically, now you want to say, maybe I need to redraw things horizontally, or maybe you can look at everything this way. So here's how I would personally leave it this way, and I would say this. These pieces here and this pieces here I need to subtract. So I want to get rid of these from the 76. So I would go 76 and I would subtract 6, 2, and 2. So that's what a 10 minus 10. Okay, that's going to leave me with $66. And now I have 3 pieces that are all the same. So when you see that, I can go and divide 3 into 66 and know that every piece is worth $22. So these big pieces here are worth actually 22. Now I can go and say how much he has. So how much does Kylo have? 22 plus there, so he's going to have $24. Unkar has only $22. And Lando is the rich guy, for sure. He's got $30. Like that. So this is how you're stacking up using a comparison model, which is pretty important. Now, what's another one? What's another one that you might see? What about a multiplying one? We could use a multiplying one. Last example. You guys are doing great. Any requests for certain kind of characters? Who haven't we used? We haven't used Vader. Darth Vader. So the comparison stuff, so you've seen kind of the comparison stuff for there. There's one more, and this is going to be kind of like when you're looking at multiples of things. And when you're looking at multiples, so these next ones are going to be looking at multiples. So the words that you're looking at is going to be things like twice, you know, like 3 times, as many, okay, stuff like that. So here we go. Oh, what could we do? A X-Wing. An X-Wing costs twice as much as a TIE fighter. Who knew? Okay. Costs twice as much as a TIE fighter. And what else do we know? And AT-AT. Do you call them AT-ATs or AT-AT? I think you call them AT-ATs. AT-AT costs twice. Actually, no, not an AT-AT. Let's go. Sorry. And we know that a TIE fighter is twice as much as an AT-AT. There we go. A TIE fighter is twice as much as an AT-AT. If you're going to buy one of each, all together, if you're going to buy one of each, they cost, here's the big piece of information that we need, $224. I want to know how much is each. Okay, so we're going to draw stuff. Now we're going to compare things. And when you're drawing boxes, here we go. So an X-Wing costs twice as much as a TIE fighter. So that means an X-Wing is more expensive than the TIE fighter. But a TIE fighter is twice as much as an AT-AT. Ooh, which is the cheapest one? an AT-AT. So you start with the cheapest one. So start with the cheapest. So here's a little hint. Start with the smallest. So you gotta figure that out. So that's gonna be our AT-AT. So we're gonna draw the AT-AT. And I'm just gonna make the AT-AT just be a box. One box. And now a TIE fighter is twice as much as an AT-AT. So a TIE fighter, how many boxes would it be? Twice as much. It'd be 2 boxes. Cool. And then what about an X-Wing? It's twice as much as a TIE fighter. So an X-Wing. So how many boxes would it be? If a TIE fighter is 2, then the X-Wing would be 4. Are all the boxes the same size? Yeah, they're all the same size. And we know all together they cost 224. So what would I need to go and divide by? I would need to go and divide by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I would divide that by 7, and I know that every single box would equal then, every single box would equal $32. 32. So every single one, 32, 32, 32, 32, you got the idea. So now I can go and answer how much every single thing costs. That's a great deal. I'm going to go buy an AT-AT for $32. Hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about the unitary method and the comparison model. Till next time. Great job, all you Padawans. Well done. Hopefully you took away a little bit more about the unitary method. If you need to go and brush up on that, go check out my other video on part 1. And until next time, have a fantastic day.